morning and welcome to this week's video. So, summer has finally arrived. That time of ridiculously early sunrises, no cloud in the sky, harsh light, everything we don't really want as photographers. Moaning again to start the video off. Anyway, this week I've come up, I'm going to do a bit of a woodland walk early morning and see what catches my eye. Let's go. So my plans for this week's video have actually changed. I was heading up to Wells, up to the Brackens, up to Blaeney Glyn to do the waterfalls up at that area, but I spoke to or messaged somebody I follow that does a lot of stuff up in that area, and he said with the dry weather we've had, the water flow is particularly low, and obviously with the weather been clear and bright with the harsh light, it probably wasn't going to be the best of conditions anyway. So I've postponed that trip for a while till we have some rain, and so yeah, that one will be one to look forward to in the future. So I thought, come across these few bluebells, which I've already done my bluebell bit thing for this year, but something I haven't put on this Z7 is my macro lens. So I thought I'd chuck the macro lens on and maybe do a bit of macro photography. So using these bluebells, getting some up close macro shots. So let me just talk you through what I'm doing. Okay, so with this macro lens, it doesn't work on the Z7ii, the lens I've got. It doesn't autofocus on the Z7ii, so I'm having to manual focus, but it's still, sun's still just coming up, but it's still quite light's just nice coming through here, but there's not a lot of light. So I've got the ISO set at 640, shooting at 1/50th at f4. And what I've done is, let me just tilt you down. Okay, so I've got myself, I'm shooting handheld. I've got the tripod here, but for this particular shot I can't get the tripod in a good enough position that I want. So I'm just got the manual focus set, shooting at f4, like I say, give myself a nice shallow depth of field, and I've got it in burst mode. So I'm shooting in burst mode and just gradually scanning back through the focus range, so that because I've got such a shallow depth of field, the back flowers are out of focus and the front flowers are in focus, and vice versa. So what I'm doing is gradually just bringing the camera back in burst mode to give myself a decent depth of field, and then hopefully I can stack a little bit in post-processing. So actually quite liking the look of results in the back of the camera on them. So leave the old macro lens on, walk on a bit further, see what else we can see. So I found my next subject. Found a dandelion head here, what we used to call a dandelion clock. So what I've done, let me just show you. Okay, so slightly different technique this time. I've set up using a bit of an improvised, using the tripod and a filter case just to get the camera in the right position. So what I'm doing this time is just taking single shots, but on a 2-second timer, and then gradually turning the focus ring a little bit each time through the focal range to get the shots I need. By doing this, there's obviously a lot less camera movement, and they'll stack a lot better in. They'll stack a lot better in Photoshop. And again, what I'll do is stack them in Photoshop, so I got a nice depth of field right through the scene. And if I look what I see, I'll put it up for you to have a look. So after those first 2 shots, I don't want to fall in the trap of, now I've got the macro lens on, let's keep it on, but I will for now, just to see if we have any other macro opportunities, and if anything else catches my eye and I need to change a lens, I will. But now the macro lens is on, let's see if we can find some more subjects. Just love this area of woodland that I am at the moment, for its old twisted trees. It's just always catches my eye. It's a great area, and local to me up on the Quantocks. So, but obviously the conditions can make a massive difference with how things look here. At the moment, it's all a little bit harsh light coming through, but it is a great area. So I just saw these 2 silver birch trees as I was walking down through, just catching the light nicely. So I just thought I'd catch these and put 24mm on. Close the aperture down to f11, reduce the ISO back down to ISO 64. And just grab this shot. Okay, here it is. Okay, so a shot caught my eye just now, but it just wasn't working, for a backlit spiderweb. The light was just catching off the top of the spiderweb, and it looked quite nice, but the web itself was not great. So so I'm on the lookout now for a spiderweb to see if I can get that shot. Okay, so I've found this bit of a web here. Okay, it's got some bits of leaves and that caught up into it, but the light is just catching on it quite nicely. So just getting this shot now, up the ISO to 1000. I've got the shutter speed up at 1/40th, I think it is, just because there's a bit of movement in that spider web every now and again, so just to take that movement out. And f13 to give myself a little bit of extra depth of field. Again, I will probably focus stack and take a few shots through different focal ranges. So okay, let's get this shot, see if it works, and then I'm going to walk on, see what else we can see. Okay, so a little change of direction this week with the macro photography. Something I don't do very often and don't really know too much about, only bits and pieces I've seen, so hopefully it's may be a bit of help if you've never tried it before. Those of you that do macro all the time will probably absolutely criticize my techniques, but there you go. I just wanted to try something a bit different today, as obviously my plans changed. So thanks again for watching, and hopefully you like what you're seeing. If you do, please check out some of my other videos on my channel and hit that subscription button and the notification bell to keep up with all my latest content. Give the video a thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated, and drop me a comment down below. It's always great to get some feedback. Okay, so for now, that's it for this week. Until next time, take it easy.